Before we dive into specific rotation serve-receive formation options, it's important to understand the volleyball overlap rules and player positions that we'll be using throughout this video series. First, player positions. In a traditional 5-1 offense, there is one setter, two outside hitters, two middle blockers, an opposite, and a libero. The H1 is the outside hitter closest to the setter. Typically, this should be the best outside hitter on the team because she will have more hitting opportunities than any other player. The M2 is the middle blocker 2 spots away from the setter. The opposite is a right side attacker lined up directly opposite of the setter. The H2 is the outside hitter 2 spots away from the setter. The M1 is the middle blocker 1 spot away from the setter. Usually the M1 will be the better offensive middle attacker because she will have more hitting opportunities than the M2. The M1 should also be a better slide hitter because she will have more opportunities to hit slides. The libero replaces the back row middle blockers. In these videos and images, front row players will be marked with bold and underlined text. Every time a team side outs, all 6 players on that team rotate one position clockwise around the court. Each player must be in these court positions at the beginning of each rally when the ball is served. That's when overlap rules come into play. No players can overlap with players directly in front or behind them, or directly to the left or right of them. Here's how that description applies to all 6 players on the court. The player in zone 1, the setter in this example, must be behind the H1 and to the right of the libero. The H1 must be in front of the setter and to the right of the M2. The M2 must be in front of the libero, to the left of the H1, and to the right of the opposite. The opposite must be in front of the H2 and to the left of the M2. The H2 must be behind the opposite and to the left of the libero. The libero must be behind the M2, to the right of the setter, and to the left of the H2. Players only need to avoid overlapping with other players directly touching their positions. They don't need to worry about players across from them or 2 spots away. When we mention different attacks in this series, a go is an outside attack on the left side, a gap, a quick or middle attack, a slide, and a red is a right side attack. We'll start our rotations breakdown series with rotation 1 in the next video.